I'm gonna be honest, I'm so sad right now. Like, this is so depressing. But let's just get into it, I guess. Going into this fight, it was pretty clear the pressure was on AJ. Like, he had to redeem boxing, especially with what happened with Tyson Fury. The image of boxing, the image of Fury in that, doesn't matter what the reasons were. It just wasn't a good look for boxing, and it was a great look for Ngannou. So going into this, there was pressure on AJ, not just for his own, title stakes, but just for, the whole sport of boxing to look good. I would say Joshua was super focused, super diligent to making sure he got the job done, and also a little mean. Like, he wasn't just going in there for a boxing match. He wanted to do damage to Ngannou. Beforehand, just looking at him, you got that feeling from him. Francis, on the other hand, extremely calm, apparently. Was talking to Ariel and everybody beforehand. He was happy. He was chill, very composed, which are good signs, I guess. But I actually think that didn't resonate to the boxing ring. Honestly, the annoying part was just getting to the fight. It was so long, the event as a whole. Fights were long, and then the gaps between fights seemed like it took forever. When I went on the DAZN's website, it said it was going to start at 5:30. The ring walk estimate, and obviously it's not perfectly accurate, but it's fairly accurate when they say that on the site. And they didn't get started until like 7:30, 2 hours from when they said the main ring walks were gonna happen. 2 hours. That's crazy. You're like, bruh, it just reminds you, it's like, bro, you missed the UFC pacing. It makes you miss the UFC pacing so bad. Anyways, then getting into the fight, honestly, I don't want to get super technically analytical with it, but just looking at Ngannou, he did seem a little jumpy. He did seem twitchy, was biting on all of Joshua's feints, and that is obviously not a good sign, and we saw what happened. But just seeing Ngannou like that, it just wasn't a good look from the start. You're watching that and you're like, why is he so twitchy and jumpy? Is he worried about Joshua's power, or is he just antsy and he wants to just jump in there and get going? That was kind of telling from Ngannou's part, like, okay, this might not be his night. Joshua landed a straight and it just drops Ngannou instantly. It did stun him a little bit, like, whoa. But you can tell, okay, he gets back up, he's good. And you're thinking like, okay, now we got a fight going. Now we're starting. Here we go. I was worried in terms of like, okay, this is going to be a tough task for Ngannou. But I wasn't worried in the sense of he's going to get hurt now. Like, he's in big trouble now. And then Ngannou put some pressure on and seemed to try to get that get back to maybe win the round back. Obviously, he didn't. But it wasn't a terrible first round per se. Then we go to the second round. And another thing I noticed is Ngannou's popping his jab, or, kind of pawing at punches, not like fully throwing it, but he's kind of still like, going in there like too calm. And that was worrisome because it ended up leading to the counter. And this was really the beginning of the end. When you see Ngannou get wobbled like that, this probably would have ended the fight with a lot of other fighters, but just because of how tough Ngannou is, he got back up. We've never seen Ngannou like that, really, like ever. Like, he's never really, we have to think about this. He's never really been hurt, damaged badly, like cut up or anything like that in his whole fighting career. He got hit with like a couple good punches, but like, we've never seen Ngannou like that. So watching that, for me, I'm like, okay, this is bad. Now I'm worried as an Ngannou fan. I'm worried bad. And literally seconds later, he's standing in front of Joshua and he's frozen up. Part of that because of how shaken up he was, but also because of the feints that Joshua was doing, and his movement was so well. But he was really done at that point, you can tell. And Joshua just had to land that finishing blow. And man, was that bad. He folded Ngannou. That was terrible. Like, he literally folded, and it was scary to see. It wasn't just like, holy crap, the knockout happened. I was literally like, oh my God, like, is he okay? Like, it's one of those knockouts. Like, he is out cold. Like, he is asleep. He is looking at the stars. Like, he is gone. And he was down there for a long time. It's bad when they give him oxygen and he's down there for a while. Like, it was bad. We literally saw seconds earlier, the first time we really saw Ngannou hurt bad. And then we just saw it get one-upped seconds later. Like, I get it. Of course, this could happen. He could get TKO, knockout, loss. That was always a possibility, of course, going into it. And I knew that. But seeing it that quickly, and the way he just folds and he's out cold, like gone, like, man, I was just like, please, like, get up, be okay. And of course he was. And obviously, as an Ngannou fan, I'm sad. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really like depressed right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it was devastating seeing a guy like Ngannou, the character that he has, the person that he is, do all this, get to this moment, and not even really have, much of a moment in this fight. He didn't really have anything to give in this fight. He just got pieced up and then KO'd beautifully by Joshua, and it was a brilliant performance. And Joshua did exactly what he needed to do. And you could argue Joshua did what Tyson was supposed to do. Tyson was supposed to be the guy to piece up Ngannou and possibly knock him out. And Joshua more than one-upped him. And I saw Tyson Fury clapping in the back like he's happy. I'm like, this makes you look terrible. This makes Tyson Fury look awful because you got in there with Ngannou. First of all, you didn't even finish him. You're the one that got dropped. You didn't drop him. You made boxing have a bad rap for a little bit. Anthony Joshua redeemed that. But for Tyson Fury, this makes him look bad because it's like, you're supposed to be the guy to do this. And now it puts into question, how seriously did you take that Ngannou fight? Even though he said he took it seriously and he said it was just a bad performance. No. How seriously did you take that fight? And then it also puts into question, how are you going to perform against Usyk? If that's how you perform against Ngannou, yes, you can maybe say that you're going to like get better and take it seriously and do whatever, but how do we know you're not going to have a bad performance against Usyk now? Like, this puts a lot into question for Fury as well moving forward. But that being said, if Fury loses now, it sets up the Ngannou-Fury rematch perfectly. Even Turkey said to Ngannou, hey, next up is Tyson.
Next Tyson.
Which kind of shows what Turkey thinks of Tyson. If he's saying, look, the rematch is going to happen anyways, he probably thinks that Fury's going to lose too. But going back to Francis, will he be ready? Like, how is this going to affect Francis? This was a really bad knockout. And for him, the first of his career, like, how is this going to affect him, obviously, fighting-wise and career-wise moving forward, but also just personally? Like, him losing to Stipe was a really down part of his life, he said. But now this? On this big of a stage? He said he's going to come back and be better, of course, but there's really only one fight to make now, and it's that Fury rematch, but that's dependent on Fury losing. And then if you go to MMA, is it now a huge risk if he goes back, if he fights a young guy like Ferreira, or if he even does the mixed rules bout with Deontay? If you lose in MMA, in that realm, now that could really hurt your legacy. It's interesting because both Ngannou and Joshua want Fury. Ngannou, of course, wants the rematch, and Joshua wants Fury because he knows if Usyk wins, yes, that sets them up, but it's a way tougher sell because he lost 2 times already to Usyk. That being said, it doesn't really matter because Turkey's going to make the fight anyways because that was the plan, that's the deal, and obviously it's set up nicely, but it is a tougher sell for the public and everybody else. And Joshua and Eddie Hearn know that, which is why Eddie was saying, Tyson Fury, you better win so we can make this huge fight happen. So if Fury beats Usyk, I think Ngannou will probably either go to MMA or wait it out until he can get that rematch. Another side for Ngannou, though, is how does this affect his overall legacy? The UFC did a really bad job of promoting him in the latter half of his career, and especially now that he's gone, they don't want to mention Ngannou at all. So that whole UFC legacy is kind of like being pushed aside by the UFC. And then now in boxing, he's as big as he's ever been. But the 2 fights that he's had, obviously on paper, he lost to Fury, but obviously looked amazing. And that was a big moment. But now you get knocked out cold by Joshua. Is that what you're going to get remembered by? Is that what we're going to remember Ngannou by? Is getting absolutely slept by Joshua. Obviously, we don't know what he's going to do next. But that knockout could affect him moving forward. And then in turn, hurt his legacy. To me, Ngannou's legacy is already cemented. But for the public, how are they going to react? And how are they going to be telling Ngannou's story in the future? Then going back to after the fight, AJ was absolutely class act. AJ couldn't have been more respectful and more honorable in victory. And honestly, it was admirable. And like, I got a lot of props because I was honestly so sad. If he was like, yo, boom, 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 I would have been like, and he was obviously celebrating a little bit, but it's like, you got to let him have that. But I would have been like, damn, like, this sucks. But, at least the fact that he went to Ngannou, the fact that he told him not to quit boxing, the fact that he told him that he also would, donate to his charity and his work, speaks a lot of volumes to Joshua. And just the way he was acting was honestly pure class. Pure class, man. I'm going to hope that 299, gives me back happiness. Tough night for MMA fans. Tough night for Ngannou fans. Good night if you're a Dana White fan. Dana White's probably happy as hell right now hearing about this, seeing this. But no, this is a sad day for me, bro. Sad day. Anyways, what did you guys think of the performance? What did you guys think of the fight? What do you think of Ngannou and his legacy now? And obviously AJ's performance. Let me know. Damn. Anyways, hope y'all aren't as sad as me, bro. Peace.